Welcome to AI for the People. Today, we're diving into some pretty big AI news.
Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
The kind of stuff that makes you go, hold on, is this actually real? Or is this like science fiction?
Yeah, you're not wrong. It
Yeah,
really is getting hard to tell these days what's real and what's just, still in the realm of imagination.
I know, right? So, where do we even begin?
Yeah.
We've got NVIDIA, who just dropped their first ever desktop AI supercomputer,
Oh.
Project Digits. I mean, you've got to be kidding me, right? Like an AI supercomputer on your desk.
On your desk. It's crazy.
Then they're teaming up with Arbe Robotics to take on radar mapping for self-driving cars.
Huge implications there.
Huge implications,
Very
absolutely.
cute.
And get this, they've built an entire virtual world called Cosmos, where AI can learn physics.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's absolutely mind-blowing.
It really is.
And if that wasn't enough to make your head spin, we're also going to talk about how AI is now creating entertainment.
Oh, buckle up.
Oh yeah, buckle up. AI is getting seriously good at it, to the point where
Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
it's kind of freaky. You can't even tell what's real and what's not.
Totally.
Let's start with Project Digits, because that's one that really blew my mind.
Yeah, it's a game changer for sure.
NVIDIA just unveiled this beast at CES 2025. And, well, it's causing quite a stir.
As it should.
As it should. So help us understand this a little bit better, because I think a lot of people, myself included, are thinking, okay, it's a supercomputer, but what does that actually mean?
Right.
What makes Digits so special?
Okay, well, first of all, it has 1 petaflop of AI performance.
Okay.
Now, I know that might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but basically, it's 1,000 times more powerful than your average laptop.
Wow.
It can handle these massive AI models with up to 200 billion parameters, which is just unheard of for a desktop system.
200 billion. Okay, my brain can barely handle like 200 tabs open at once, let alone 200 billion of anything.
Right.
That's an insane amount of processing power.
And that's not even all. It has 128 gigabytes of unified memory.
Cool.
So imagine being able to access like all of your computer's memory at once.
Oh, wow.
It's lightning fast.
So instead of needing to like have access to these huge data centers,
Yeah.
you could potentially have all of that power right there on your desk.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It's going to be huge for students, developers, researchers.
Anyone who wants to experiment.
Anyone who wants to experiment with AI, exactly, without, needing massive infrastructure.
So you're basically saying that like anyone can now potentially become an AI developer.
Yeah, the barrier to entry is getting a lot lower, that's for sure.
I mean, I can already imagine all the amazing AI projects that people are going to be able to create with this kind of power at their fingertips.
It's going to be exciting to watch.
It really feels like a real turning point in making AI more accessible.
Totally agree with you there.
It's just incredible. And speaking of pushing boundaries, NVIDIA, they're not stopping there.
Nope, they're not.
They're also making some huge moves in the world of autonomous vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
They've partnered with Arbe Robotics, and they're developing this next-level radar mapping technology.
It's pretty cutting-edge stuff.
Okay, I need a little bit of a breakdown here. What is radar mapping, and why is it such a big deal? I mean, I thought self-driving cars already used radar, right?
Right, they do. But current radar systems have limitations, This partnership is trying to address those limitations and take things to the next level.
Okay, so safer self-driving cars.
That's the ultimate goal, yeah. To create a world with fewer accidents and smoother commutes.
Sign me up.
Right. So Arbe Robotics, they've developed this incredible high-resolution radar that can detect tens of thousands of objects per frame, even in bad weather. This gives the car an incredibly detailed understanding of its surroundings, kind of like superhuman vision, if you will.
Okay, now that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So Arbe provides the eyes, basically.
That's one way to think about it, yeah.
But then how does NVIDIA come in play? I'm assuming they don't just provide, like, the windshield or something.
Not quite. This is where their Drive AGX platform comes in. It's essentially the brain of the autonomous vehicle. So it takes all of that data that's coming from the radar and it processes it in real time to make driving decisions.
Oh, okay. So Arbe is the eyes and NVIDIA is the brain.
A perfect analogy. And really, this partnership is a great example of how different technologies can all work together to create something that's truly innovative.
Exactly. It's about bringing all the pieces together.
Right. And the innovation train doesn't stop there.
There's more. Okay, I'm holding on tight.
NVIDIA has also been busy building something called the Cosmos platform.
Cosmos. That sounds a little like a sci-fi movie title. What exactly is that?
Imagine a virtual world, but one that's hyper-realistic. So NVIDIA has trained Cosmos on 20 million hours of video data.
Hold on. 20 million hours. My Netflix queue is definitely shorter than that.
Right.
But seriously, that's an insane amount of data. Why train a virtual world on so much video?
Because they want to be able to accurately simulate real-world physics. So if you were to drop, let's say, a virtual object in this Cosmos world, it would fall, and it would interact with the environment just like it would in real life.
Okay, that is pretty mind-blowing.
It's amazing.
And I'm assuming there are a lot of applications for this?
Oh, yeah. You can use Cosmos to train robots and do it in a safe environment before they ever even have to interact with the real world.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right.
No more robot uprisings. We're good.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's a way to teach them to walk or to grasp objects without any risk.
That's amazing.
And you can also test self-driving cars in this virtual environment. You know, you can put them through all sorts of different scenarios, push them to their limits without actually putting anyone in danger.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's like giving them a crash course. Literally a crash course in how the world works
Exactly.
before they ever step foot outside.
It's pretty incredible, and it goes even further than that. You can use Cosmos to generate something called synthetic data,
Well,
which is basically just creating these massive data sets to train AI models, but you don't have to go out and collect all that real-world footage.
so Cosmos is like a one-stop shop for developing and training AI.
Yeah, it's pretty much a game changer for anyone working in this field.
Wow, I can see why people are so excited about this. It really does feel like NVIDIA is pushing the boundaries here.
Definitely.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, we got to talk about something that's both fascinating and a little bit unsettling, right?
AI-generated content. Here we go.
AI in entertainment.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff online lately. AI-generated music videos, these fake news anchors that look so
A
real.
safe fix, yeah?
It's wild. And it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not.
Absolutely.
I think that's what's kind of freaking people out a little bit.
Understandably so.
So where do we even start with this one?
Well, AI is becoming incredibly good at creating really realistic content, right?
Yeah.
And this raises some important questions about, the future of entertainment.
And maybe even the future of truth itself.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And those questions are only going to get more and more pressing as this technology keeps advancing.
I mean, have you seen what OpenAI's Sora Turbo can do? It's like having a movie director in your pocket.
It's insane.
It's amazing. You can give Sora a text prompt.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, write me a scene where a robot falls in love with a butterfly.
I love that.
Right. And it'll generate this video that matches that description.
And it's good.
It's incredible. So you don't even need to know how to animate or edit video anymore. Is that what you're saying?
That's the direction things are headed, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I am both impressed and a little terrified.
Right?
I mean, what happens when anyone can create a realistic video of literally anything they can imagine?
Exactly. That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, it's fun in games until someone uses this to create something really harmful or misleading.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's why it's crucial that we start having these conversations now while this technology is still relatively young.
Right. We have to be proactive about this.
Absolutely.
We need to figure out how to balance the creative potential of AI
Right.
with the need for some ethical safeguards.
Totally agree. It's uncharted territory. We need to figure out how to navigate this responsibly.
Exactly. We need to be having those tough conversations now.
Yep.
And you know what? We want to hear from you, our listeners. What do you think about AI-generated entertainment? Is it exciting? Is it scary?
Yeah. What are your hopes and fears?
Share your comments below. Let's get this conversation going because I think this is something that's going to affect all of us
Definitely.
sooner rather than later.
It really is. It's a fascinating landscape for sure.
Yeah, and it's evolving so quickly.
It is.
It feels like every day there's something new to talk about.
Absolutely.
And you've brought us some really great points about, the potential implications of this whole AI-generated content thing.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
It is. It really feels like we're on the cusp of something big here.
We are. And it's not just in entertainment either, AI is making its mark in almost every industry you can think of.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those other areas because I think that's what's really exciting for a lot of people.
Right.
Where else are you seeing AI make a real impact?
Well, one area that I'm particularly excited about is healthcare.
Okay.
AI has the potential to revolutionize how we diagnose and treat diseases, and that's a really big deal.
Yeah, I've heard a bit about this, but can you give us some specific examples? Like, how is AI actually being used in healthcare right now?
Sure, imagine you have an AI system that can analyze thousands of medical images in a fraction of the time it would take a human doctor to do it.
Wow,
This can help detect diseases like cancer at much earlier stages, when treatment is more effective.
that's incredible. Early detection is so crucial, especially with something like cancer.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just image analysis, too. AI can also be used to personalize treatment plans.
Okay.
It can analyze a patient's medical history, their genetic information, even lifestyle factors to determine the most effective course of treatment.
So it's like having a custom-tailored medical plan
Yeah.
designed specifically for you.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's all about leveraging the power of AI to improve patient outcomes and to make healthcare more efficient.
I love it. This is really giving me some hope for the future of medicine. It sounds like AI could be a game changer in that field.
It could be huge.
What other areas are you excited about?
Another field where AI is making waves is education.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing AI-powered tutoring systems that can provide personalized learning experiences for students of all ages.
So instead of this like one-size-fits-all approach that we often see in traditional education systems, AI can adapt to each student's individual needs.
Exactly. Imagine having a virtual tutor that can, identify your strengths and weaknesses and then create a customized learning plan to help you succeed.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Right. That's the power of AI in education. It's incredible.
It sounds like AI could make education more accessible and more effective for, well, pretty much everyone.
That's the goal. And let's not forget about transportation.
Okay, yeah, that's another big one.
Huge. We already talked about self-driving cars, but AI is also being used to optimize traffic flow, reduce congestion, make transportation systems more efficient and more sustainable.
Oh, so like shorter commutes and less pollution. Sign me up.
Right. Who
Uh,
wouldn't want that?
Seriously.
Yeah.
But okay, we've talked a lot about the positive potential of AI, but it's important to acknowledge the potential downsides too.
You're absolutely right. We can't just ignore those.
And I think one of the biggest concerns that people have is this whole issue of job displacement.
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
It is. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I mean, if AI can automate so many tasks that humans currently do, what does that mean for the future of work?
It's a big question. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it's going to be capable of performing tasks that were once done by humans, and that's likely to lead to job losses in certain sectors.
Right.
It's inevitable.
So how do we prepare for that? How do
Yeah.
we prepare for this potential shift in the workforce?
I think one of the most important things is to focus on retraining and upskilling workers. We need to equip people with the skills they need to thrive in this AI-powered economy that's emerging.
Okay, so what kind of skills are we talking about here? Are we talking just like coding and AI development, or is it broader than that?
It's definitely broader than that. Things like critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, emotional intelligence.
The human skills.
Exactly.
Mhm.
These are the kinds of skills that AI can't easily replicate.
Right, those are the things that make us uniquely human.
Precisely. We need to focus on those abilities. We need to develop them. We need to adapt and evolve alongside AI, not try to compete with it.
Right, it's about collaboration, not competition.
Exactly. It's about finding ways to work with AI to leverage its strengths while also preserving what makes us human.
I love that. It's a really hopeful way to look at it, but it also sounds like this transition is going to require a lot of planning and foresight.
It will, but I'm optimistic. I think that if we approach AI with a thoughtful and responsible mindset, we can create a future where both humans and AI can thrive.
That's the dream, isn't it?
It is.
To create a future where we can all benefit from this incredible technology.
Absolutely.
And you know what? This is a conversation that we want to continue with you, our listeners.
Yes, please join us.
We want to hear your thoughts on all of this. What are your hopes and fears about the potential impacts of AI on the workforce?
What steps do you think we should be taking to prepare for the future of work?
Share your comments below. Let's explore this together because this is a conversation that's going to affect all of us.
It is. It's a big one.
It really is. And now, before we jump into the final part of our AI deep dive, we want to remind you to follow us at AI for the People for daily updates and more insightful discussions just like this one.
We break down these complex AI topics into bite-sized pieces.
Exactly, so you can stay ahead of the curve
Stay informed.
because knowledge is power, especially in the age of AI. It's amazing to think about all the ways AI can be used to make a positive impact on the world.
It really is, and we've only just scratched the surface.
So where do we go from here? What are some of the big picture problems that AI could help us solve?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. I mean, think about some of the biggest challenges facing humanity right now, like climate change, poverty, disease.
Right.
These are all areas where AI could potentially make a huge difference.
Okay, so walk me through it. How could AI actually help us tackle those issues?
Let's start with climate change. AI could be used to optimize energy grids, make them more efficient.
Oh, okay.
It could help develop new renewable energy sources and even model climate patterns to help us predict and mitigate the effects of climate change.
Wow, so it's like AI could give us the tools we need to actually make a real difference.
Exactly. And then there's poverty. AI could be used to develop more efficient systems for distributing aid, making sure that resources are getting to the people who need them most.
Right.
It could help identify areas where poverty is most concentrated and even create personalized education and job training programs.
It's amazing to think that AI could help us create a more equitable and sustainable world.
That's the hope. And don't forget about disease. We've already talked about how AI can revolutionize healthcare, but it could also accelerate drug discovery, develop personalized medicine, even eradicate diseases that have plagued humanity for centuries.
It's incredible. It's like AI could usher in this new era of human well-being.
It's definitely within the realm of possibility.
It's mind-blowing. But, with all this talk about the potential of AI to solve these big problems, it's important to remember that there are also potential risks, right?
Absolutely. We can't just assume that AI is going to be this magical solution to all of our problems.
Right, because with great power comes great responsibility, as they say.
Exactly. It's important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a way that benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
So how do we do that? How do we make sure that AI remains a force for good in the world?
Well, I think it starts with having these open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits of AI, like the conversation we're having right now.
Right, bringing it out into the open.
Exactly. We need to bring together experts from different fields, policymakers, industry leaders, and most importantly, the public.
Right, everyone needs to be involved in this conversation.
Absolutely. Because it's not something that any one group can solve on its own. It requires a collective effort.
Okay, so we're having the conversations. What else?
We also need to invest in AI research and education.
Okay, so making sure that people understand how AI works, how it can be used ethically.
Exactly. The more people understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to navigate its challenges and harness its potential for good.
That makes sense. It's clear that AI is going to play a huge role in shaping the future.
It already is, and it's only going to become more influential in the years to come.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they kind of step out into this increasingly AI-powered world?
I think the most important thing is to stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
Don't be afraid to ask those tough questions, right?
Exactly. Learn about AI, think critically about how this technology is being used, and how it might impact your life, your community, the world.
Because the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us. It's something we're all creating together.
Well said.
Well, that's a great point to end on, don't you think? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Remember to follow us at AI for the People for daily updates and insights. And be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring the future of AI and keep asking those big questions.